Greetings petrol heads, welcome back to Automation the Car Company Tycoon game. Today I'm gonna do another review, and it is by LM Gamer 456, or at least that's his old name. Now he's called AstonMan. Wait, what was the name of the car again? It was the close that. It was the J.C.M Bullet. So the J.C.M Bullet is a car that is a mid-engine supercar. It is supposed to beat Ferraris around the track, but also be comfortable driving driving home. You know, when you're not feeling like you want to go for a wild ride. Let's see what this thing is made of. By the as I'm sure you've noticed, the new update is out. There's a couple of new tabs here, which I am gonna talk about in a future video, not for right now because it's not relevant for these reviews. So let's just do these as normal, just like I always did. So first up is the chassis. It is a monocoque, carbon fiber. You can see that now there's space frames in the game as well with the new open beta. It is a carbon fiber monocoque, mid-transverse engine placement, double wishbones up front, pushrod suspension on the back, carbon fiber panels, and +2 quality here. Styling wise, it looks aggressive, that is for sure. There's a big grille down here, some vents there. I'm not really too sure how I feel about the split grille in the middle here, but other than that, I think it looks like a supercar should, yeah. And the taillights, they are quite fancy as well, or at least I mean it's a modded fixture that you can get in the workshop, and we have like 80 LED braking lights and a grille. Actually, that's 2 grills, I think. No, 1 grill and then some stripes. No, wait. Those are the LEDs. The LED stripes. Okay, now I know what's up. The back end is simple but still pretty sporty. I don't know why you didn't choose lips for this car to help with more downforce, but there is 1 wing, rather 2, stacked on top of each other. No, there is just 1. Right, so the engine is a retuned version, he says, of the E92 M3's engine. So it's a 4-liter V8, dual overhead cam, 4 horse per cylinder, VVL, ALSI block aluminum head. I'm not sure that's right. I'm pretty sure it has magnesium block, but whatever. We got some forged steel. Well, a forged steel crank, I-beam steel conrods, lightweight forged pistons. Very high RPM limit, but that is, you know, just normal for that V8. High VVL profile, 64 cam profile. 12.4 compression ratio is really quite a lot. It is naturally aspirated, of course. Direct injection, front per cylinder, performance intake. Not that rich of a fuel mixture, and the RPM limit is cut off at 8300 RPM. I think it would have a little bit more to go as far as power goes. Yep, 479. Let's put it back to 8300. But what we have valve float. If you just put, oh, you already have +8 quality in the head section, so that's a lot. At some point it's getting expensive, but You know, I think if the reliability is still 74.6, then I don't think this little bit of valve load is that much of a concern. Let's see, long tubular headers, dual exhausts. Yeah, okay, correct size of the exhaust diameter. 2 straight through mufflers. Let's listen to this thing. Sounds like it should. So, we got a 7-speed double clutch gearbox, which, yeah, I don't really like this gearing, but we'll see how it works on a track, I guess. Electric limited slip differential, I should point that out. That is, you know, the best option you can have for drivability, grip, performance, pretty much everything, but it's also the most expensive option, of course. Very wide front tires for a mid-engine car. I'm interested to see what he did with the suspension setup then. Because usually if you have a front tires this wide on a mid-engine car, it'll just oversteer. Yeah, but we also got 335s on the rear, so vented discs front and rear, 4 pistons up front, 3 pistons on the rear. No carbon ceramics on this one. It's sort of surprising because the chassis and panels are already carbon, this car is gonna be expensive no matter what. And if it's performance or prestige you're after, maybe even comfort. Let's see. Yeah, this does increase comfort actually, going for carbons. I'm not really sure why you chose the vented discs over the carbon ceramics to save a little bit of costs when the car is already gonna be, you know, not really that cheap. But you know, it's up to you, and it seems to work. Does this car have active wings? No, probably not. It only has one wing anyway, and that's on the rear. So, downforce on the tray. A little bit more wing angle on the rear than on the front. On the front you could remove it altogether, because I didn't see any aerodynamic fixtures. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Cooling airflow is just enough. Brake airflow is probably not even needed on this car. Okay, it did do something. What was it at 28.9? There we were, okay. Sport interior, standard infotainment, all driver assists, including launch control, advanced safety. No quality in either of these sections. I should really check through. Okay, no quality in the gearbox, no +2 quality on the tires, no quality on the brakes, no quality on the aerodynamics or interior, no quality on the suspension either, and we have active sport springs with adaptive dampers and passive sway bars. There's a lot of rear camber, and then very stiff rear springs, pretty stiff dampers as well. No bottoming out, but you know, this seems to be working. Like it's nicely balanced between sportiness and drivability. So this should be pretty good around the track. 3.4 seconds from 0 to 100 is fast, of course. But you know, for beating Ferraris these days, .4 second quarter mile It's okay. Well, it's fast. Let's not say it's okay. It is still pretty damn quick. Let's not forget that these times here are faster than they would be in real life, so the 115.0 is... It looks great, but it's not really that meaningful right now. Let's see what it would do around Laguna Seca. So 138.92. Where does this go? Laguna Seca track times. Give me a second. So our time was 138.92, and that goes right between the C63 AMG Coupe Black Series and the new generation, or the 991 generation of the Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. Let's see, the Ferrari 458 Italia did it in 136.2. So as a mission, so if this car's mission was to beat Ferraris, it didn't do it. But there's one more trim, is the 550R. Maybe that can do something. So at the very least, the 136.2 should be possible with this thing, because we have a twin turbo V8 here. 550 horsepower, 658 newton-meters of torque. Same internals here. Different bore-to-stroke ratio, if I'm not mistaken. The cam profile and VVL profile have changed as well. The VVL profile is not quite as aggressive. Obviously, it's a twin turbo now. 550 horsepower. You see, with the fact that even the last generation of the V8 mid-engine Ferrari, the 458, had 570 horsepower, and the one that replaces it, the 488, has 670. With that in mind, these power figures are probably just not quite gonna be enough to beat the Ferrari, or at least that's what it looks like for now. Plus one quality in here, plus one quality in the head section. Overall, turbos are spooling up maybe a little bit on the late side of things. It does have a ball bearing though, no journal bearing. So let's see what this does. Drivability is still okay for a twin turbo V8, 40.4. Could be worse. It is also all-wheel drive, as opposed to the rear-wheel drive 480S. That was the trim name. Still a 7-speed double-clutch gearbox. Sports compound road tires, 355s rear and 315s front. Wow, those are some massive tires. We got carbons now, as far as brakes go. Wait. There are still no lips on this car. A different wing. A bigger side air intake, because it needs it for all the extra power. All the extra airflow required for the turbo. This has a lot of cooling airflow. A lot more than it would actually need. So perhaps it would do a little bit. The top speed is really low for this sort of power. But it does have a good bit of downforce, on the rear at least, because You know, on the front it can't make downforce if it doesn't have any, you know, lips. Sport interior, standard infotainment, all driver assists, +9 quality in here. That's an interesting choice. +1 quality in the safety, which is advanced to begin with. Probably a little bit overkill on the safety here, given that this whole car is from carbon fiber and it's very safe to begin with. Active sport springs, semi-active dampers, passive sway bars. Very similar, if not the same. I think it's exactly the same suspension setup as on the 480S. And we got some quality in the suspension. In the gearbox as well, I didn't mention that. And +6 on the tires. Okay, so overall, this should be quite a lot faster around Laguna Seca. Target, again, is 136.2. .2 basically. So it's not even that much faster than the 480S. And I think part of the reason for that is this right here. +9 quality into the entertainment section is gonna add a lot of weight. Let's see what would it, how much less would it weigh with 0 quality? Actually 27 kilograms. Yeah, that is a noticeable difference, of course. But not as much as I thought. Active sport springs rather than standard springs, they also add a good bit of weight. But they, you know, with the right setup, they are better for performance. But mostly, of course, the now turbocharged engine really adds to the weight of this car, and the all-wheel drive system, of course. So basically, the extra power is, you know, very much needed to move the extra weight around. How about the quarter-mile time? That is an 11.1 as opposed to the 11.4 of the 480S. Not really sure if this car would be particularly comfortable to cruise in either, because the body is moving quite a lot, as you can see here on every bump, especially on the front. Like the nose is just gonna come, you know, jumping or just bouncing up pretty harshly on a bump, and then obviously falling back down. It's just overall, I think if the goal was to beat Ferraris and around the track, which it couldn't, and also be a comfortable, you know, basically GT car, if you will, not really a luxury car or anything like that, but a car that, you know, you can drive comfortably on the road, then not really sure if it achieved either of those things. It is, you know, it does well as a sports car or a supercar, if you will. It is pretty cheap as well. Also, by the way, the prices have been significantly recalculated. But yeah, it performs well, but not on Ferrari levels. And it is okay to drive on the road, just probably doesn't ride as well as a McLaren or something. You know, cars that are quote unquote state of the art as far as the ride quality goes in a supercar. This doesn't this doesn't perform like a McLaren on the road or like a Ferrari on the track, but it is quite a bit cheaper, and I think it's good enough for its price, honestly. So overall, couldn't quite achieve your mission, but it's still a decent car. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode of Automation. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.